So yesterday, Doom Patrollers, we finally got some footage for Doom Patrol Season 2. I've reacted to it. I did a video on that, but it's actually time for me to do my breakdown video. So yeah, this is my breakdown and in-depth analysis, I guess you could say, for Doom Patrol Season 2. Official trailer, HBO Max? I don't know. Just roll the video. How's it going, Doom Patrollers? Welcome back to a brand new Doom Patrol video. So as I said in that little intro, yesterday I've already done like a reaction. I barely do reactions, but I wanted you guys to kind of see my first thoughts and impressions on the HBO Max trailer for Season 2. So go ahead and click that video. It should be appearing in the cards or maybe on the end card of this video. Go watch it after this. But this will be the stuff that we learned. My extended insight on it. I want to show you guys the trailer. Feel free to skip past it if you have seen it already. But for those who haven't, just once again, I'm going to show the trailer and then we're going to get into that sweet breakdown.
If you want to understand what I've done, I needed to find a way to outlive my daughter. So I began my experiments in search of mortality. I'd make some adjustments to people. Barry.
Anyone I get close to, it always ends in pain.
Rita.
Sometimes the easiest pain to ignore is our own.
Jane.
I've got 64 personalities. I'm Miranda.
Penny farthing, sir.
Baby doll duck! Hey Siri, what's the Doom Patrol?
Stop doing that. My name's Vic. I'm dealing with some kind of post-traumatic stress.
Booyah. And you, Cliff.
Get your ass back here! Oh, yeah! What's up with his daughter?
Dorothy's missing. She will unleash hell on Earth.
I told you to be polite.
And you will be powerless to stop it. Help me find her.
Get on this rocket ship, girl. Get on this rocket ship.
I don't know how you handle things like this.
Well, typically we just kind of wing it.
You bring the sun, I'll bring the open sky, you bring the moon.
So you want to become a superhero?
No.
We go together so well.
My powers have gotten pretty impressive. Now I'm going to go. Get a ladder.
What a morning, what a night.
Those annoying, feckless losers that I live with are my family. They may be spineless, but I know deep down they all care about me.
Ready for a hug?
Do not.
Coming in for the hug.
If we want to be a team, we have to make the effort.
Time to take out the trash.
Let's go!
And by the way, guys, Future Boba here. Stick around to the end of the video for a very important question regarding my reviews for episode 1 to 3, because I may or may not have got access, and I would love to know how you guys would like to view it on the channel, considering all 3 episodes are airing on the first day it releases, June 25th. The beginning of this trailer essentially, premises the show, understanding what Niles Calder, the chief, has done with having involvement in each of the Doom Patrol's members' incidents, all for him to outlive his daughter, because yeah, he wanted to be around to look after Dorothy, and we'll get into why. I'm sure a lot of you know already from my previous videos, but just in case you have no idea, who is Chief's daughter, Niles Calder's daughter, what's the big deal? Well, trust me, she's going to play such a significant role in Season 2, and we actually get some scenes of his search for kind of immortality, or like with the secret to mortality. But what was really cool here is that we get to see this like older chief. I don't think we've seen Niles Calder, like Timothy Dalton, actually, in this kind of makeup. We get a lot more white and gray hair than what we're used to seeing, where we can only assume, or at least I assume, this is before he achieved success in what he was looking for with, each Doom Patrol member. Now, at this point in the trailer, we get introduced to the various characters of the Doom Patrol, and I get why they're doing this. Like, if you're wondering why are they spending a Season 2 trailer, like, introducing the characters we already know about, don't forget that this is an HBO Max trailer, and this is something I want to say off the bat as well, that I do expect another trailer from like DC Universe itself. Think Stargirl, how we got so many CW trailers, but we still got like DC Universe versions. I think there was like a couple, or at least one. So I still expect DC Universe to come out with one. Please, DC Universe, come out with one. So with the HBO Max deal here, don't forget that a lot of people haven't really seen in Doom Patrol, you know, because it's just such a DC Universe exclusive and always has been until kind of now. With it coming to HBO Max with a much larger audience, they kind of want to welcome you through the front door with some insight, because people will be looking at this like, hey, what? Also, we're only getting 9 episodes as it stands right now for season 2. Season 1 had 15 episodes. I think it was meant to have 10, maybe it was meant to have more, but like because of the whole pandemic situation, that cut it off. We still may get episode 10, but I don't even believe a lot of people involved with the show right now know what's going on with that, whether they're gonna, you know, say, okay, let's continue filming. I believe they only had literally 1 or 2 days left of filming the finale, and we're gonna have to see if they're gonna like self-cannibalize those scenes to try and remedy a finale, which will kind of suck. Maybe it won't suck, but like it will suck that we didn't get the final episode, or maybe they will continue it. I know this isn't anything to do with the trailer, but little extra insight there for general season 2 stuff. But moving onwards, we see in one of the quickly, you know, loads of trailers do this, loads of little shots going by at a time, but in one of them, I found something very interesting. Well, she did say it very obviously, but it piqued my interest and now may pique some of yours, because some of you may be a bit foggy on details from season 1, so this is where I come swooping in to try and hopefully, well, put us all together and see if this is the case, because I'm pretty sure it is. So in one of the quickly shot by scenes, we see Jane introduce herself as one of her many personalities, Miranda. Now, who is Miranda? You may be thinking, does that ring a bell? And we can't forget that Kay Chalice is the original identity of Jane, the one that everyone is protecting, all of her personalities are protecting. Kay Chalice has like a primary personality out of all of those personalities that she has. Jane is the most recent one, or the most recent primary, I guess you would say, but there was one beforehand, if you guys remember, from Jane Patrol, who we actually had a little bit of a flashback about from when Jane was younger, and her former primary before Jane was Miranda. Now, if you guys also remember in that episode as well, the last we heard of Miranda is that she went disappearing or was assumed dead or destroyed because she went down the well in the underground. Now, it's interesting that in this trailer we see Jane introduce herself, well, it's not really Jane, but you know what I mean, as the former primary. So it's like, I have to assume this is the Miranda who's been missing in the well this whole time. I don't know. It could be somebody else, but what's the chances? This is where they introduce Cyborg, Victor, and we get a little bit of new footage here. I mean, amongst this trailer as well, they did include quite a few scenes from season 1, like Brotherhood of Evil scenes when, you know, if you guys remember, that wasn't real. They were kind of little simulations from Mr. Nobody kind of trolling them, and when he was pretending to be Cyborg and whatnot. But anyway, as for Cyborg, it looks like he could be going to some kind of meetings, group meetings, to deal with some of his past. Now, Cyborg obviously has quite a traumatic history, and last season alone just added tenfold onto that because of the crap that he went through, you know, fearing himself, what could be happening with Grid, his father. Now, initially I was wondering who that girl was in the background with Miranda speaking, you know, in that scene I was just talking about a second ago, as we do see her with Victor further along in the trailer. It appears that he could meet her at one of these meetings that he attends to help with his PTSD. I mean, it's not like a really high resolution shot, but this could be her in the background, so maybe he meets his girlfriend, maybe they're just hanging out. It's hard to read into this, but as we know, last season Victor did try and experiment with some dating apps, but then, you know, once, you know, it completely blasted back in his face with people, you know, not really being into him because of what his body is like, because of his accident. Maybe he finds a connection. And as I said, Doom Patrol, character development, this could be Victor's personal side to his story this season, and we might see this really, you know, I don't know, sentimental, lovely kind of story for Victor where he maybe finds someone. I don't know. What do you guys think? As per one of my previous updates on Doom Patrol Season 2, where we get some insight from the actress who plays Rita, April Bowlby, but also Jeremy Carver, the showrunner, we know that we're going to visit more of the Doom Patrol's past, and we know that character development on this show is just stellar. So for Cliff here in this scene, I mean, I don't personally recognize this scene from Season 1. I could be wrong about that. It's not like I just rewatched Season 1 like a second ago for this trailer, so let me know if you do. But putting that aside for a second, I am all over this. I reacted to this yesterday in my reaction video, but this is where we see Cliff inside Doom Manor. Tiny still, because this is in episode 1 where they've still been shrunk for quite a few weeks after the end of season 1, so this is a few weeks later. And lo and behold, he's fighting another mouse. Now, could this be a relative to Admiral Whiskers? I mean, the chances are very, very high. I mean, he could be seeking vengeance for his lost family. Either way, I can't wait for this, because Cliff, Steele, Robot Man scenes like this in Doom Patrol are just iconic. At this part of the trailer, we segue into Dorothy Spinner, Niles Calder, aka the Chief's daughter, after Robot Man said what is up with his daughter. Now we get a little teaser of Dorothy here with Niles, who seems to be attempting to comfort her as she's kind of struggling to maintain control. Obviously, the scene could be about a number of things, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what could be going on, just because it's like a reflection of what will be happening this season with that character. No matter what, at the end of the day, if Dorothy gets a bit too stressed, she might begin to melt down a bit, and that can be very dangerous due to the nature of her powers. And it seems that she does go missing, according to that voiceover in the trailer from Niles, perhaps as a result of whatever happens in this moment here, and she kind of just runs away, and that's really not good. I mean, having a child who runs away because they're upset, you know, it is one thing, except that would usually resolve, hopefully, and they calm down and, you know, all goes well. But with Dorothy, she could literally, as the Chief said in this moment, release hell on earth. Don't get me wrong here, Dorothy doesn't want to cause harm. She's not a bad person, but you have to remember she's just a kid. And this is likely why she's so distraught here, because she doesn't want to lose control. And all of this still seems to be happening on Cliff's racetrack set in Doom Manor. She also seems to get annoyed in this moment by somebody, and judging by that scene at the end of the trailer where Cliff goes flying, which we'll get to in a second, I'm guessing he's kind of rude to her, which is why she says, I asked you to be polite. Then the trailer cuts to a scene of her summoning that wolf-like creature we saw in season 1, summoned by her mother when Niles first met her, if you guys remember, and all of that was very ambiguous, with all the paintings on the rocks, if you guys remember, and we still truly don't know, nor Niles himself really, the origin of her kind, or what that creature that they summoned signifies. I mean, it's probably just in their imagination, and it was important to her mother's people. Either way though, it seems that Dorothy summons that creature in a response to whoever has annoyed her, which yet again, I bet it's Cliff. We hear Niles say in the continued voiceover, and you will be powerless to stop it. And also at the end of the trailer, as I just teased a second ago, we get that extended moment here of where it still seems to be where Dorothy is kind of losing control, Niles is there, and we actually get to see a couple of her imaginary friends, and we already know that tall creature, but there is another person here, and I don't think it's Rita or anything, because this person has glowing eyes. Now initially I thought that this could be Darling Come Home, because even though this show adapts everything really, really well, literally torn out the comic book pages, there's got to be some things that they don't, but at the same time, she does have glowing eyes, and Darling Come Home has this like mirror kind of square-esque kind of face with big lips and straight, you know, it's Dorothy's imagination. So it could be her, it might not be her, but either way, I'm willing to bet that it's one of Dorothy's imaginary friends trying to protect her and sending Cliff flying. Now, as for the spider, it could just be a house spider, but then again, it could be one of Dorothy's friends, but I'm willing to bet that's a house spider just kind of coming on Cliff's racetrack, which would be terrifying if you're like only 2 inches tall. But what about when it comes to villains this season and how this pertains to the trailer? Well, I think I've got it nailed down a bit more now as to what is likely happening this season with the big threat, the big bad, and the side villains that we'll be seeing. So instead of necessarily having a big bad likened to that of an antagonist such as Mr. Nobody in season 1, this season could be a bit different, and that is because Dorothy could be the quote-unquote big bad, except that she isn't a villain, but due to the unique circumstances of the character, as we saw and discussed moments ago, she could cause really bad situations, and whereas the Chief said in the trailer, where we're powerless to stop her. So this season, it's likely about handling her in the situations that arise from whatever scenario that she's put in, where she may be losing control or something, and the unfolding events, that just really spiral from her. But also we will be getting other actual villains, such as Red Jack, Mr. Shadowy Evans, you know, even Candlemaker, who a lot of you know really is linked with Dorothy Spinner. However, I'm still unsure as to if they're really going to emphasize that character to be the big antagonizing, I don't know, person behind Dorothy, because if I don't want to ruin the story, but Candlemaker is very tied to Dorothy. He will be in this season, but will he just be like a side kind of plot for Dorothy, or will he be pulling some strings and kind of trolling her in her mind? Now, as for this rocket ship, I actually don't know. I really don't know. I can't tell with the scenery if it's taking off from Doom Manor or elsewhere. I mean, I can't imagine Cliff has a toy rocket on his race course, so I assume this is set in an episode where they're normal and upsized again. So yeah, Dorothy is going off on this ship. What? And also, I really did try to look into this. Maybe I'm just being an absolute noob and I've forgotten myself because, you know, after reading quite a few issues on DC Universe, which I did seriously recommend you guys check out their comic book catalog. These little Oompa Loompa looking characters, I have no idea who they are. They got spears and... Now, these dudes, obviously with these spears, are in this white space where we see Miranda, Larry, Victor, and whoever Victor's friend is here. It's very similar to that kind of interdimensional space that we saw Mr. Nobody in throughout season 1. So I'm betting that this is like another interdimensionally kind of space. Maybe these creatures or people are interdimensional beings, which is really not unfamiliar to Doom Patrol at all. We will be literally seeing, like, for example, Mr. Shadowy Evans. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's kind of like a minion of one of the villains or just something else. But either way, let me know if you know down in the comments below, but I actually couldn't tap this one. And of course, our Lord and Savior, Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man's bestseller billboard as Cliff bursts through it. I love the references here. I actually didn't pick them up when I first reacted to it yesterday. I think because I was so excited by what was going on. But the review references. We get a hell yeah from Kite Man. So Kite Man is somewhere out there in this universe. I would love to see him, but of course, hell yeah. And a graphic and gripping from My Chemical Romance's Gerard Way, who of course, created Umbrella Academy and has had involvement in Doom Patrol comics before. But also we get another writer as well, Jeremy Lambert, who is, had some involvement in the Doom Patrol runs. So yeah, absolutely love this. I saw comments yesterday, but I really hope they emphasize this kind of meme that was Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man. And he is a villain in the comics, and they make a one episode kind of D-Creator-esque episode of season 1, but for Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, where he like comes up against the Doom Patrol. I don't know. Throughout this trailer as well, we get to see Rita testing out her powers. She really, and this comes from April Bowlby herself in the SFX magazine. I've done a video breaking all of this down, saying what she says and looking into that. But to summarize that very briefly, she kind of wants to try out to be a superhero. That's why when Vic asks her, do you want to be one? She gives that really awkward, shy, timid response of no. She'll be trying and failing a little bit this season. That's why she asks for Vic's guidance, because he has some superhero experience. I love Rita far. Cannot wait to see April kill it this season. And then ultimately we had that closing moment from Jane in the trailer, just summing up the dysfunctional family that is the Doom Patrol with what she's saying. And also around these scenes, it seems as though Rita is throwing some kind of party or welcome home thing or just something in Doom Manor. And I'm just wondering if Danny the Brick has been growing into maybe Danny the Bungalow or just something like that, because I think these are the Dannysons in the background. We've also got Flex Mantello here. Great to see him again. Hope his involvement is going to be spectacular this season because he's a great character. And that is essentially everything we got from the trailer. Now, there is a leaked image of Dr. Time out there right now from one of the episodes of Doom Patrol Season 2. I'm not showing it in this video. One thing I will say, you may find it yourself, but one thing I will say is that I am so happy with it. I genuinely thought with characters like Dr. Time, with his face basically being a clock, that, I know Doom Patrol brings stuff prosthetically into real life, torn out the pages of the comics, but I wasn't sure with characters like this. But they literally did it, guys. They really did. And yeah, you can either see that for yourself or wait to be surprised in the episode. I expect another trailer to come out in the next couple of weeks. DC Universe usually leave it within a week of the actual release date. Another thing as well, HBO Max are airing the first 3 episodes straight away, and then it will be a weekly release. I've asked DC Universe, and it sucks that I haven't got the response right now. Okay, so while editing this video, I actually got a response saying that they will also be releasing the first 3 episodes on the first day of release on June 25th for not only HBO Max, but also DC Universe. Also, everyone, I would really, really appreciate your input if you've made it this far in the video, down in the comments below, because I've now got access to the first 3 episodes of Season 2. I am absolutely ecstatic and very excited. However, how should I upload them to the channel? I can't rely on everybody binging the first 3 episodes, which is, around 50 plus minutes long on the first day. I know we're in the pandemic, but at the same time, who knows? So I'm thinking provisionally episode 1 and episode 2 separately uploaded on the channel on June 25th. So completely normal upload. It's like a normal upload of Doom Patrol, except I'll be doing episode 1 and then uploading episode 2 in the evening. And then maybe I'm thinking of uploading episode 3 the next day, June 26th, just because it would add a little bit of space between it. Sure, a lot of you will binge 3 episodes worth, but I can't count on everyone doing that. So do you agree with that, or do you think I should upload all 3 on June 25th? I would love your input here. Like this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to this channel for every single update you would like about anything you and I love in common, because that's what I cover, just things that I like. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Doom Patrollers in the next video, and let's just get some hype for Doom Patrol Season 2. Goodbye.